So it's been months since our father died, and a lot of you guys are asking how we've been doing, so we thought we would talk about that today and like what is going on with us and our subsequent weight gain, acne breakout, all of these, only for me, acne breakout. And so we thought we would talk about that today because we've gotten a lot of questions on the past videos. We've gotten so much support from you guys. We had thousands of comments on the videos that we did about our father, and we just want to say thank you so much. And yeah, so for me, I feel like I'm doing okay. You know, the last couple of years were really difficult on us because we were like heavily involved with my father's care, and that led to us like, so just really quickly, we had this channel going and we were filming twice a week and we were working. Meanwhile, we were going with our father to all of his treatments, which could have been like every day during the week some of the time, for most of the days. And so it like really did like take up most of our lives. So after he died, it was almost like,
now what?
Now what? Right. And so we've just been like creating content and, you know, trying to get back to normalcy, even though it's like that had happened for like a year and a half and we'd been to the hospital hundreds of times and it was almost like, wait a minute, I'm not going there anymore.
That was our new normal.
Right.
So.
And truthfully, I'm relieved that I don't have to go anywhere near there now because I associate all of like the bad memories with even just like driving there and going to that hospital, even though for the most part they were very kind people and stuff. It was just like all the bad news that we got, all the bad experiences that we had were all there. And so not going there has been nice because I was there all the time. To the point where people thought we worked there. Like people would say, oh, like you guys are back, you know, like did you go away for the weekend or something?
Were you on
like,
vacation?
Right. I'm like, I don't work here. And they're like, you don't? No. And they're like, oh. I'm like, my dad is coming here. Like we were there so often. I think we're also like really noticeable because we're tall and we're twins, so people like, you know, in Panera would be like,
they would know our order.
Right. They would just have the cups because
the coffee cups.
Yeah. Not much you can choose from there, but we would get coffee several times a day, and the guy would just be there with the cups, and then you'd be there with the iced coffee cup, and I'd be like, sorry, we're doing hot today, and he would be like, oh. Anyway, so I felt like our schedules have really changed, but you know, we have been supporting our mother through, you know, losing her husband and staying over the night and keeping her occupied with us.
She's making us watch Korean dramas.
Yeah. And so we've been doing that a lot. I felt when he died, I felt like this kind of sense of relief a little bit because he was so anxious about his diagnosis and so were we. And so, you know, he was very like stoic, but you could tell that he had a lot going on in his head all the time. And it was always about like the next blood draw, the next reading, the next chemo, like the results. And it just felt like this energy that was always like really an anxious energy. And when he died, I felt like it's over for now. Like it's at least that he's not like suffering anymore and that. So I felt immediately like that. Of course, relief, I miss him and I will always miss him. But yeah, he just was really supportive of what we were doing, and he would be like really mad if we stopped. So we were always thinking about that when, you know, if we feel sad, it's kind of a joke that Dad would want us to keep filming. So that's what we've been doing and trying to keep busy.
Yeah, our sister had a baby, and we will be going to visit soon. So that's exciting. He's a really cute little baby boy.
He looks like us.
He looks like us
when we were born.
Yeah. So we're excited to go and visit him and hang out with him for a little bit. Yeah, I guess there's a lot of like mental space that is now free from not having the hospital stuff. So that I'm trying to like
fill with other things.
Fill with productive things, hopefully. But I'm also trying to just take it easy, and I think both of us are, to relax a little bit after that.
I remember thinking that I felt like I needed for my brain cells to regenerate after the last year and a half. And it was just like such a stressful time for me that I was just operating on like zombie mode most of the time.
Like, what is it when your gas tank runs out, you're running on fumes?
Yeah, running on fumes.
Yeah.
That's how we were.
We're still kind of running on
fumes.
But
I mean, I feel like it's getting better now. And, you know, yes, we are grieving. And grief is a weird thing where it comes like randomly out of nowhere. Right.
Yeah.
Like my husband has my father's picture as his lock screen on his phone. If I can see it in his hand, I will just feel like sad, even though it's really cute that he did that and everything.
We also had like a memorial service kind of like gathering, celebration of life for my dad.
Months
later, just because we couldn't handle doing it anytime close to when he passed away. But just like a celebration of his life, and that was hard.
Right.
Thinking about that and having everyone come and like apologize and whatever
Right.
about losing him and talking about him and setting that up was kind of stressful. But I'm glad we did it. He would have liked it, hopefully. But yeah, it's just kind of like a new
world.
That's why I said, like, it's when you lose someone that's really close to you, your whole world changes, and then there's people walking down the street that don't have any idea what you're going through. You know, yesterday there was like a funeral or something across the street, and we were looking at it because we were filming a video, and it, you know, just noticing all these people coming and grieving, it's like, it's just interesting how there's people that are going through something so profound, and then next door it's like you don't know what's going on.
Right.
It's a very interesting feeling.
Life goes on.
And that's another thing, is feeling like it's already been so many months since he passed, and life just rolls on. That makes me feel like I should take advantage of it and not take anything for granted and that sort of stuff. Do the things that you want to do and live the life that you want to live, so.
Sarah and I gained weight, about 15, 17 pounds each, and we've been trying to get on track, clean it up for the most part, and it's going slow so far. Lost about a pound.
Yeah, I lost about 2 pounds.
I mean, I could be cleaner and I could be eating less than I am, but it's going to be like a slow type of thing. We would like to lose it sometime
Soon.
Exactly. Of course, it's not as pressing to me anymore than it was when I was younger. I don't know. It's just, I'm going to do my best, and I'm not going to be obsessive about weighing myself every day, and I'm just going to do the best I can and see where I go from there. I'm not going to be a supermodel at 40.
That ship has sailed.
Yeah, that's the Titanic. That's like not happening. So I'm just going to do the best I can. My weight has been like not on my mind as much as my face. And I did see a dermatologist who pretty much confirmed everything I said. So I explained in the other video, but I didn't mention that by the time that I could see one, it was months later. And I wanted to try things now, not months later. And they pretty much said that I don't have any active acne anymore, and it's just like marks, like dark marks and stuff. But I do,
it looks a lot better.
Right. I do feel like it's a lot better. My skin is not like bumpy or inflamed anymore. It's just like I have like dark marks, but even those are definitely improving since I stopped doing red light therapy, which I love, and I will start doing again after the dark marks are gone. But I've been just using, you know, an azelaic acid that they suggested. It's an over-the-counter thing, but I did also get one with tretinoin in it, but they said that that could make you break out in the beginning. So
yeah,
I'm not happy about that, and I don't necessarily want to do that. I feel like I'm like on the path to getting my skin back to where it was, but it's going to be a little bit longer. But I do feel a lot better than I did because I can hide most of it now with makeup.
Mm-hmm.
But before, you couldn't hide it. It was just, you could see it even with the makeup on.
Oh.
If a 10 was, I remember I was watching clips from our channel, and I was watching it yesterday, and I was like upset because it was probably like mid-2023, and my skin didn't have anything wrong with it. And that was a couple months before I started to bloom and then destroy my face with using a bunch of different acids and stuff. So it's like you don't know what you have until it's gone. And I'm reminiscing.
So many things in life.
I would never like look at myself and reminisce about the way I look. Oh, I was yesterday because I was like, look at my face. I don't have any kind of mark on my face or anything.
There's a meme that says, I wish I was as fat as the first time I thought I was fat.
Right, exactly.
That's kind of like...
And the first time I thought I was fat was like 11.
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
And I was probably like 120 or 130 pounds heavier later. So I feel like it's like improving, and I'll just keep on working on it slowly and using gentle things to try to get my skin back to where it was. But yeah, those are the things that we were talking about. It's the fact that we gained weight over the past year and a half, and my skin. I want not your skin, my skin. So
our skin.
Yeah, it does affect her too, by the way, because I'm either complaining about it or
talking about it,
or like telling the editors to like Photoshop a new face on top of my face and trying to get them to do that, even though they can't in the videos. So at least I'm seeing progress on that front. And Sarah and I are going to Dallas this year to Vid Summit, which is a YouTuber convention that we have been going for the last couple of years. So Vid Summit is where you go to learn from other YouTubers and how to make good content, better content, and to meet other people in like the industry, because it's really hard to meet people when you're a creator and you're just like working by yourself. So
we're just working with her every day.
So we've been trying to go to get more involved with the community, and if you happen to be a YouTuber that's watching us right now, let us know, because maybe we could meet up there and talk about YouTube.
There was one person that was a fan, Tyler, creator attorney.
Fan to friend.
And now she's going to be speaking at VidCon. So, exciting stuff.
Right. Yeah.
We're also going to a gardening event.
Oh, yeah. We're also going to a gardening event with some YouTubers in July. And I'm just going to put this out there because it's kind of like in the background of what we're doing. I have been wanting to buy a new to me house property since 2019. Ever since I got into gardening. We have like 1/8 of an acre lot, and they're really close to the neighbors, and I hate living next to people. I'm just gonna put that out there. I want to like, I was gonna say mosey about, putter around
with a cup of coffee.
I want to putter around without my bra on. No, I'm kidding. Without shoes on or something, and with my hair all crazy, with a cup of coffee, looking at my garden, without seeing people within 5 feet of me. There was a time, and I liked my neighbor at this time, and I was like planting up something on the ground, and she was just standing there watching me. I had no idea. The scream I let out when we locked eyes, because she was gonna like have a full-blown conversation with me. That's how close we are to our neighbors in like these lots. So I have been like on the search for a lot that has like an acre in the Chicagoland area, which is like a pretty crazy market right now. And so we put an offer on a house and lost. But funnily enough, the house ended up selling for less than what we offered. That was fun and depressing. There was like 10 offers on this house. And it was a small house. It was 1,600 square feet, but it had a beautiful backyard. It was fully fenced, an acre. It had a gate. It was completely private. Lost that one. We put an offer on a house a couple weeks ago, not in the preferred area where I would want to live, but it was like 1.3 acres. It had like a meadow.
It was very nice.
Yeah. But Sarah happened to do a little research on the property, and it turns out that the farm behind it was going to be sold, and they were revamping that whole area, so the property would not even be private, and it would be under construction for years after that. And so Sarah called me in a panic and said, you need to look at the city plans because all of this area is going to be torn down. And what's funny is the real estate agent that was there mentioned that to us, but I was so like, I like this land, where he said, oh, that farmer across the way, he's going to be selling that acreage over there. And, and he was just like telling us that.
Yeah, but when Emily told me that, I was like,
red flag.
No.
I was like,
went on there and I was like seeing what the land was going to be permitted for. It said multi-home.
Right.
Like, it could be anything. It could be an apartment. It could be a gas station. Not like, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, I guess, if it's already there. But to buy a house and then for it to be...
The only reason why I'm moving, by the way, is to get this land and to get the privacy. I really love where I live, and it's very convenient for me to live, like, by Sarah and my mom. And so in order for me to move, like, 45 minutes away, that's the only reason why I'm moving, is because I want land and I want to be able to garden and be like in peace and quiet. And so for that to be like on the horizon of that property, literally bordering it, we panicked and we pulled the offer. So, and it went under contract to someone else, so it's not like,
I just hope they look at it.
I don't know if I could sleep at night. It would be like me in like Fern Gully. I don't know if you've ever seen the movie where I'm sitting outside, just drinking my coffee, and all of a sudden a bulldozer comes by and tears down the forest in front of me. After I've spent way too much money that we can barely afford to get a house with an acre, and then it's all
gone. Well, it's not gone, but it's
under construction for the next 5 years.
I lived under construction. Sorry. I lived in construction or next door to construction for a couple years in my apartment, and it was like, even during our first videos that we were filming on YouTube, you could hear the beeping of the thing backing up and going forward, and dump trucks and all that sort of stuff. So it just is very life changing when that happens.
So that's our hunt. Sarah saw a house.
It was pretty, but it had a lot of work that needed to be done to it, and so I don't know if my husband and our marriage could last during that, because I plugged a sink upstairs with my hair, and he was there yesterday. And there was a lot of sighs and he's like, your hair is superhuman.
Superhuman.
That's what he said. Like there's like Drano doesn't destroy it. Nothing. So I need you to be careful with your hair in the sink.
Hydrochloric acid.
I don't know. Then it would burn the pipes would just dissolve. Anyway, so I'm looking for more of something that's like not turnkey, but something that we don't
something
need to
you
work
can live
on.
in.
Yeah.
We actually
with a nice kitchen for filming and stuff like that. I don't want to be
too.
like that's like the house hunters thing. It's like what are you looking for? Open concept, kitchen.
Right.
And my husband needs a big garage because he was a mechanic and he loves cars.
Right.
So I have some wants and needs. We're not in a rush. Whenever it happens, it happens. But Emily's more of like, get me out of here.
But yeah, I'm just not moving for any other reason other than privacy. So it's like the one thing that I'm not willing to negotiate on.
Yeah.
It's like I'd rather just stay where I'm at. And, you know, we bought 10 years ago. We're not buying at these new inflated prices where we can barely afford anything. I better get what I want.
So yeah, I'm just kind of waiting to see what happens.
Literally, like probably one of the worst times you could buy a house was in the last couple of years.
Yeah.
So, is it a huge mistake? Probably.
Is that something you guys want us to talk about? Show footage maybe from going. That would be cute, going to open houses and stuff.
It's always fun in theory until you see what you can afford, and then you're like, Like the one house that we saw. The guy was like, yeah, the realtor was gonna be like. So this one's you're going to need about $250,000 of work, unless Brad is handy. And I looked at him and I said, no. He's not.
Was he offended?
No, he's not offended. My husband bought this thing called a kettlebell, right? You know.
Yeah, the thing.
It's like a thing. It's like a weight and you lift it and I've never used it, obviously, but he was just swinging it in the middle of the living room and he hit the wall with
the ceiling.
I told him to be careful and he swung it and he hit the top of the wall with it. And there's a dent.
This happened 5 years ago.
Yeah, 6 years ago. It's still there. There's a dent in the wall. He said he was going to fix it. Do I think that my marriage could survive a $250,000 renovation? No.
We got some work done on our house. And
all we need to do is put a little putty and a little paint there.
A little
sand it a little bit. And it has been 6 years.
Yeah.
So, no. I need something that at least I could live with for the next 5 years or
something
something
like that. Doesn't have to be perfect, but you have to be able to live with it for a while.
In our budget, you're not going to get much, okay? You're just not. You don't have many choices. So it's like tiny house on a bigger piece of land, 45, 50 minutes away from where we live from here. Okay, fine. So anyway, that's like what the update is from us. And, you know, I remember my dad, he told me, you should just move. Because I was always talking about it. And I couldn't move when he was sick. And now I remember when he died, my mom was like, you should just go and try to buy a house because I know that's what you really want. And you've been waiting because of Dad and everything. So
we were looking at houses too. And when we saw a house that really had a lot of potential. It had a really big garage. It had probably a place that we could have put a filming studio. And the house was okay. And it was in our budget. And there was just something in my mind that was like, don't do it.
That was before Dad got sick?
Right. That was before he kind of
But you never went to see it. You saw it online.
I saw it online and I was really drawn to it. I'm like, this is exactly what we want.
Right.
Something we could live with for now, but it has potential. It has a place that we could film in. It has a garage for him. And there was something that like just told me don't do it because then...
It got really bad.
And it got really bad with my father. And it would probably be the time when we were closing and I wouldn't have been able to help probably as much. And so it wasn't meant to be, so...
I think we're doing okay. But we really do appreciate all of your kind words
and your support.
And he would be really happy that we're continuing working. And he was always like, Are you working? Filming? Are you filming?
Yeah.
And he would be happy that we are. And hopefully he is watching our content from elsewhere. Even though he wouldn't even watch our videos. He used that as an excuse. I was like, you just don't want to watch our stuff. He goes, no, I'm afraid I'm going to jinx it.
Yeah, he thought he was bad luck.
Yeah,
which is really
sad. That a video would not perform well if he watched it. So he would always ask, but he was like,
what is your number?
Yeah.
He meant by subscribers. And when we were growing slowly, he's like, oh, come on, you know. He really wanted us to hit 200,000, but he didn't get to see that, unfortunately, but it's okay.
Well, if you guys have any questions for us or if you want to hear us talk about anything else, please let us know in the comment section below. We're aching for topic ideas.
Yeah, why don't we do like a FAQ? If you guys have a question that you guys want to ask us, you know, about anything, let us know in the comment section below. Maybe we'll answer those questions. We haven't done an FAQ in a very long time.
Right. And YouTube seems to think that you're going to like this video from us, so why don't you click on it and we will see you over there. Anyway, I'm Emily.
I'm Sarah, and we
Signing
are
out.
signing out. We're signing out. I forgot.